In this module, we're going to look at unitized module construction for multifamily, low-rise construction where we have a podium with first floor office and retail, and then living units above. And this is a group of that I put together at the initial concept of this project. And you can see this is on a semi-trailer. The idea being that this is fully fitted out. I have some unique ideas about the way these modules could be built, and I'll explain those a little bit as we go through. But we moved along a little further in the course with this project, and this I've just opened up one of the files of where I was in the construction of the videos to build this project. And you can see I've illustrated some hanging equipment, the idea of thinking about these being moved by a crane system. One of the unique things about this project to keep in mind is that we're going to be building project elements that we import into the major project. And they are over here in this model element of these groups. And we can actually go in and then edit these at any time. And I have one isolated. And we're using the Revit document kind of as a family in order to be able to reach back and do some manipulation to these specific units. We're also presenting this on a much larger sheet. Before we were doing, excuse me, I'm trying to zoom extents and I don't have there we go. It's on a sheet that is tall and wide, wider than we're used to, actually the same width. So I've clicked into that title block, and this could actually just be our standard title block. It's 36 inches wide, you'll notice if I click on it here. And I could change this down to 24 inches. And it looks like the standard one. So that's exactly how you would go ahead and modify the title block. And the idea is that now we're experimenting with using Revit to become a full presentation sheet. And I think it's quite a neat advantage to be able to present everything with inside of Revit and not have to go out to external documents, especially for kind of informal presentation work. So I spend a lot of time discussing this construction of the vertical timber. The idea of this project also is that this is heavy timber systems. We have a mass timber flooring system, and we incorporate as much wood as we can in the construction. And we spend time doing these detail elements of the connections between the units. So I hope it's time that you'll not rush through them, think about the implications, and think about modifications you might want to make to these assemblies. And I want to point you to, on this on the actual module site, there is a column drawing available. So if you click on that, it'll take you out to a PDF file that's well detailed. You can get some of the basic dimensions that I set up for that column, and that can assist you in generating the initial scale for that. So do remember that that PDF is available to you. Otherwise, it's really important to me that you review these two videos to get a good idea and feel for this world of modular construction. You can view them on YouTube, obviously, at twice the speed, so you can really compress the amount of time that you need to spend overviewing these before you start the project. So there's really no reason not to go through them. This is a really fabulous, pun intended, presentation of prefabrication. It gives you all of the salient issues about thinking about modular construction. And I think that pretty well covers the introduction. And I don't know if I mentioned this, I've recorded this 2 times, but this is linked. This project will be played out again when we get to module 14, because we will be using the same modules to populate a test fit, which is software for doing multifamily, residential, retail, mixed use, should I say, developments. And we can see here where I'm using the same modules. So the modules you create in M10 will have life in them when we get to M14. So the effort that you spend in some of this detailing will pay off handsomely later on. So I hope that's enough of an introduction to get you stimulated to working through this and coming up with some unique um, examples of what you can do with modular construction. I'm also looking here at, I have another slideshow that shows what a couple of students did last year, and I'm having just a little difficulty finding that. So let me see if I can click this up. I'm going to put this on pause and do a little searching here, so bear with me a second. So here's one of the projects. This looks like 2018. So a really clever idea of making an entry condition here, using some of the techniques that we've already modeled with. And the student went through and put balconies on and then populated the interiors with componentry. And I thought this was a very, very nice project. And I have another one here. This is a high rise, more on the high rise idea. And I thought quite a few different modules here. And uniquely, one of the modules is also the vertical transportation system through the building. And then played out, you can see down this central core. And they put together, I thought, a really nice massing of this high rise. So those are two, I guess, high bars to think about in what you might do going forward.